Grendel, Hansio was just the beginning, he thought. Onto his next victim he pounced at once, reaching out to grab him with his killing claws. But now he was met with a grip of steel, a grip harder, tighter than he had ever known, that seized him, held him fast by the arm. Locked in the vice of this grip, he could not break free, however much he struggled, and he knew at once he had met his match. Filled with sudden fear, the monster struggled again and again to loose this fist, yearning only now to be away from Heorot and home again in the safety of his lair. Vainly he tried to pull away, but Beowulf's fingers fastened harder still in an ever-tightening grip around that callous killer's arm. How Grendel longed to get out, to escape to the forests and fens, but no power on earth could force Beowulf to release his grip. Now Grendel knew, this merciless, murderous ogre, that he should never have come this night, that his death was coming, and that, despite all his efforts to tear himself away, there was nothing he could do to prevent it, no way he could save himself. Fear of this death drove him mad with anger, and anger only made him stronger. He would fight to the death to save himself. He would never give in. It was amazing that the great hall of Heorot was not split asunder that night. So ferocious was the wrestling between these two giants. Locked together in this deadly embrace, they reeled and writhed about the mead hall, so that all the Danes outside could hear a dreadful cacophony of crashing and crying resounding through Heorot. Gold-work trappings and iron braces, all well made and sturdy, simply snapped and buckled as the two of them, in deadly earnest, wrestled and grappled and struggled with each other. There was no ground given in this terrible fight, nor any mercy either. So they fought on, this Grendel now fear-soaked, his strength failing him, and brave Beowulf, fist still clenched around the monster's arm, and knowing he had only to cling on and not let go to banish to hell forever the damned one, God's and his own worst enemy. Clearly outside they heard the monster's demon scream, his hideous howling screech. The sound of it chilled every listener to the bone, and yet hope gladdened them too. For these they knew were not human cries, but rather the strident sobbing of the beast in agony and terror. Seeing Grendel thus pinioned by the Geatish hero, and tortured and weakened by his pain, Beowulf's companions in arms drew their swords and sprang now to his side to help him fight, to finish, if they could, this murderer's wretched life. They were not to know, Beowulf's battle friends, that no man-made sword, no steel could pierce this cruel creature's enchanted hide. Only naked strength could end his unnatural life. Grendel understood this, and he knew he was weakening, that his end must be near. He could think of no possible way to escape. Great-hearted Beowulf, sensing his sagging strength, had him still by the arm, now twisted it and turned it until the shoulder muscles split apart, the tendons snapped, the bone joints burst, and Grendel's arm was ripped and wrenched, bleeding from his body. Then Grendel fled, armless and half dead already from Heorot. Over the moors he staggered and stumbled, through the fens back to his den, knowing all the while that this was his last day on earth, that his life's blood was draining from him, he was dying his death. So Beowulf the Good had triumphed in his bitter fight with Grendel the Evil One. Thus were all Danish hopes fulfilled, and Beowulf's promise to them too. He had destroyed the great destroyer with his bare hands, saved Hrothgar's royal mead house and the Danish people from further terrors, and given them back the sanctuary of their hearth and home. So that everyone should know that their tyrant was truly dead, and their grief finally at an end, the hero hung high in the gables of Heorot, where all could see it and marvel at it too, that whole torn off limb, shoulder, arm and hand, gruesome witness to the monster's violent end.